Anyways, we got Dylan's pick this week, which was the 1997 film Men in Black. Please tell us about it.
Alright, Men in Black is a film about a super secret organization that is our first, last, and only defense against the worst scum of the universe. They just don't exist, you know? They got alien weapons, they try to eliminate this bug that landed on Earth, and they gotta return a galaxy to this alien race before their entire planet gets nuked. And, yeah.
Fun fact. I've got 2 fun facts this time, actually.
Whoa!
First fun fact, Linda Florentino won her role in a poker game with the director.
Is that the doctor lady? Morgue lady?
Yeah,
Sick.
the morgue lady.
The hot lady.
Which tells me the director is a real fucking degenerate. Second fun fact, originally Clint Eastwood was considered to play the role of Kay.
That's funny. That would have been...
And I so wish I could have seen that version of Clint Eastwood with Will Smith, because he would have called him the word.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
That's our ranks, though. Tanner, what's your rank?
Dude, I'm sitting at an A+ right now.
Holy smokes.
I'm quite far off from you. I'm at a B- currently.
Yeah, that's very far, Tanner. Oh, my lord. I'm giving it a B.
Unsurprisingly, I gave this movie an A.
Whoa.
There are 2 wolves.
There are 2 wolves. Well, here comes the Men in Black.
I'll give my positives. I think it's got some fun jokes in there. I think the idea is interesting.
Yeah.
I think that the acting of the main cockroach guy was pretty good. He's very disturbing. It looks like a guy that is wearing somebody's skin, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's great how, like, as the film goes on, you can definitely tell that, like, oh, the body's becoming more and more decomposed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all I really have for positives.
There's
I
no
think
fucking way.
I think it's an okay film.
My positives are, I think the movie is funny. I think it's a fun movie to watch. I think it has a lot of charisma from both of our actors, both Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. Very funny pairing as well, because Tommy Lee Jones is the fucking sheriff from No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah.
I like to imagine they're the same character. This is what he does after he retires from the Men in Black.
That would make sense, actually. That'd be funny.
He has to go and hunt down fucking Anton Chigurh. I think this movie has a lot of style that I like. It's with the aliens and such. I don't know what I'm saying. And something I really like about this movie, it's very pithy. It's not very drawn out or whatever. They're snappy with it. It's got good pacing, and it just kind of blows through. It's like, yeah, listen, it's a buddy cop action alien comedy. We don't need to draw this out for you, the audience. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna do it in 90 minutes or less. It might have been longer than that.
I don't remember. Dude, I thought nostalgia glasses were on the whole time. Glad to hear that you guys aren't as low as I thought you were going to be. I used to watch this movie all the fucking time when I was a kid. That fucking video I sent to the Guapish general chat, that's at the end of the movie, or it's in the behind the scenes shit, I don't remember which. I'd watch that shit all the time and I'd dance along to it as a kid. I fucking loved that song. But yeah, I think that the acting is great. I think that the alien costumes are very well done, as is per usual for this era. They did their best with the CGI. It obviously didn't look great, but I think it's excusable for the most part. I think the most offensive part that the CGI had in this movie was when Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were like stopping that alien from driving out of town with his pregnant wife. I think that's probably where it looked the worst.
I disagree. I think it was the cockroach at the end. The big alien boy.
I don't agree with that.
In fairness to the film, though, I'm sure, like, at its time, it looked fine. Like, growing up watching this movie, I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
No, I fucking loved this movie when I was a kid.
Then again, I also thought Beast Wars looked fine as a kid, so maybe take that with a grain of salt.
But, yeah, I thought the plot was fun. I agree with Tanner. This movie is just fun to watch. It's got cool alien technology. It doesn't like to linger on things for too long. It's got that one guy who's, like, the fucking music guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks. He's there. That's funny. And I like the quippy attitude between Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. They have that, like, serious old man and, like, young hip guy vibe going on, and I think that pairing is always great in any of these movies. I mean, yeah, and I like Nico mentioned, I like the attention to detail where you can just watch, which is funny. I don't think I would have noticed this as a kid, but I like the attention to detail where they just slowly show the body the cockroach guy was wearing slowly decomposing over time. That's, just I forget what you guys call it. It has something to do with timeline or whatever. But yeah, and I like how they're not super just trying to be out there with alien concepts like some of these movies are trying to be, but they're also not just trying to make it super basic either. And I'm excited for the second of the series. I don't remember the third one super well off the top of my head, but I remember liking the second one as well. I just don't think it'll land as well with you guys, but that's aside the point. But yeah, really like this movie.
By the way, I do think it's very funny that Dylan knows David Cross from Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's where he pins him down.
That's the first time I've ever seen him in a movie.
That.
Well, actually, not true. I guess the first time I ever saw him in a movie was this. I just couldn't only make the comparison with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Dude, he's also in Pootie Tang.
I don't know what that is.
I guess one quick aside. So I also decided to check out the comics that this movie is based on.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie is just much better than them. Just straight up. For one major thing I think that this movie does intelligently over the comics is in the comics, the Men in Black just kind of deal with everything that's kind of weird. Like, they handle weird cults and they fight like a fucking Thunderbird at one point. Just like all kinds of bullshit. But I think limiting it to aliens and like really decreasing the scope is a big point in this movie's favor. Also, Jay in the comic books, A, he's a white guy, of course, but B, his character just isn't very engaging in the comics because literally the entire series he is perpetually stuck in the what the fuck is going on, huh? What is this? I don't want to do that. Why are we doing this? He fucking sucks. Kay is also a little weird in the comic books because like he's like fucking punking the guy the entire time. He's like, what are you, a little pussy? Just shoot him. And like he's literally just this fucking hard nosed, like just making fun of the guy constantly. I think they really took an interesting concept, boiled it down to what was necessary, and cleaned up just about every aspect of it. As for the film, my main negatives is I agree some of the CGI is bad. I thought the cockroach looked fine, honestly. It didn't take me out of the film. I don't know how big a negative this is, but I don't necessarily like it ending with Kay retiring.
Yes, that is a big problem I have with it. Where it's like, yeah, I'm retiring. I was training you as my replacement. And he's just calling it quits now.
He doesn't know anything.
He's not. Yeah. He's obviously not prepared for this yet. Why are you immediately leaving?
We did one mission.
I mean, I guess if
I
you
think
put it
you
that
get
way.
the gist of it.
In fairness, the mission was pretty big. The whole world was going to end.
Yeah, but as he says, he's like, the world's always in danger. This is just another week for us.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something I overlooked. Like I said, nostalgia glasses. I can definitely see that being an issue. But it might also just be because I've seen the entirety of the Men in Black besides the newest one, because I've heard of shit. But, I mean, I guess we can't take sequels into perspective here, because that's cheating. I don't know. I guess it didn't bother me as much. There's got to be other capable agents, and Will Smith seems like a pretty, like, intuitive guy putting this shit together anyway. He seems very competent, so maybe that's why it didn't faze me as much as it could or should have. I don't know what to say. It just didn't bother me.
I think the big thing is they're trying to demonstrate that he's good at, like, thinking on the fly, which I think is why he passed his initial quiz.
Yeah.
You gotta, be prepared for the unexpected with these things, and that's what he's trained to do. I still think it's fucking stupid, but, like...
I would have liked to see a couple more tests to see just how, intuitive he is with all this kind of stuff. Because, like, 2 tests, and they're like, okay, sure, you're good enough.
I would have liked to see him just be slightly more competent on the mission itself. Because I feel like the level of competence they show him, like, in his police work and then in the tests is way higher. Like, he has the sudden drop-off once they actually make him an agent. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? What is everything and all this and shit? He's just complaining all the time about everything they're doing. You're gonna give her fucking brain cancer, which is a funny thing.
Yeah, he's like, hey, my feet hurt. When can we go home?
I wish he got used to the work a bit. Like, I wish it like ramped up more, where by the end you're like, okay, I can actually believe this guy could go off on his own now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, like, just the entire recruitment process here, they bring him in, they're like, all right, you're going to do a couple tests now. Okay, by the way, you now need to cut out every fucking person you know, all your friends and family, they're dead to you from this point on, and we did not explain this prior to you joining, I'm sorry, but them's just the breaks, pal.
I was just gonna say, I assume they vet people beforehand who don't have a lot of attachments to get rid of.
But, like, Kay had a wife.
I don't
know, man. I will say that's a funny difference in the comics. In the comics, it is very explicitly that does not get explained to Jay beforehand. He just it's literally Kay being like, so do you want to join us? He's like, yeah, I guess. And then he just hits some stuff on his computer. He's like, you don't exist anymore. He's like, what?
I could be completely wrong about this, so I'm not going to state this as fact. I don't know if that was in fact his wife, because I remember growing up this whole time I thought that was the case, but then there was like some like small phrase when they were talking about specifically in the scene where he's like, I guess spying on his wife, whatever you want to call it, where he had like flowers for her, and and then Jay's like, oh well, she never got him, did she? And he's like, no. So, but then it is implied at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, this man wakes up from his like 35-year coma. So
it was actually his sister all along.
Yeah, I mean, they do give him like a while to think about it, though, to be fair. So it's like, it's not like in the comic, like Tanner was explaining, where you're just like, oh, you want to join? It's like, yeah, and then you're just deleted from existence. Yeah. It's
like, they don't even take him to like an office or anything. He picks him up on the road and he's driving him around. He's like, hey, do you want in on this mission I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's very funny. Another funny difference is the way the neuralizers work. In the comics, they are like way more powerful. It's basically just instant hypnosis where you can make people do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't just erase their memory, it also allows them to like order people around to do shit for them.
That sounds worse somehow.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's very funny though.
Alright, so from what I'm seeing here, it looks like the like newspaper or whatever at the end, it says he returns the girl he left behind. I guess interpret that however you want. I'm assuming, yeah, they were married.
They could, yeah. It's they don't ever really.
I think it would be weird if they weren't.
I don't really have a stance on that one.
Who knows? It's impossible to say.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, boys, is that all we have to say about the Men in Black?
I think that's all I got to say.
Yay, I'm sticking at B.
Yeah, I'm not moving. I think it's fine.
I definitely, I'll leave it at an A, actually.
I'm thinking about if I want to drop down 1 to an A, but
like A+, that's like a perfect film, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
3 ranks above that.
Dude, we've already discussed. S tier means that, yeah, you know, it's a phenomenal, perfect film, but like once again, it means that there's something special to it.
We've also discussed that we all have different definitions for what each of our tiers means.
Also that.
Our tiers are subjective to ourselves.
I'm gonna leave it at A+ for now, at least.
Okay.
Based?
Not based, Jackson. What the fuck is wrong with you? Not based.
That's a definition of fucking based. Fuck you.
No,
BK,
not based. Not based.
Everything that doesn't agree with me is not based.
Yes, Tanner. You figured it out. Based.
Well, sorry, I said me, not you, so.
Well, you said it in a mocking tone, so I guess it's just how you interpret your own voice.
A- overall.
Let's
Fantastic.
go.